Wagwan people, Slik RRhymez today back in the lab once more. And today we are going to talk about how to sample any instrument using DirectWave, this plugin right here, which a lot of people might overlook, but it can do a lot of damage. So what we mean by sampling an instrument to DirectWave? For example, suppose you have a plugin like Omnisphere, Contact, any plugin with CPU intensive or any plugin for that matter. What you can do is the sound that you like from that plugin, you can sample it and save it to this plugin right here. So now you might ask Slik why I would sample the plugin to this plugin right here if I already have the plugin already. Why am I not just use it from the Omnisphere or the whatever plugin you have? The main reason why you would use a plugin like this for sample an instrument is for collaboration. All the time you send out collabs and people have the same plugins to use. Second reason is like it less CPU intensive and it uses less memory. So we're going to show a practical example how would I use that. I'm going to pull up a riddim I have so. Alright, so for example, we have this riddim right here. Alright, so I have this riddim right here. I'm going to do a collaboration between me and one of my producer, bridging them. But them don't have this plugin right here, which is the piano sound. Alright, so I'm going to send out this here collaboration. And the person who I collab with, they don't have this plugin right here, which is from Expand, right? So the first thing where you think to do is consolidate it, meaning save it as wave, which is this process right here. And consolidate this track from start. All right, so now we consolidated the piano track. So now that I send out this collab, the person that can play the sound even though they don't have the plugin, the Expand plugin. So this method is one way to fix the problem, but the only problem to this is, what if the person want to change the way the piano is playing? Like for example, like change the MIDI file or the progression of the piano, or change the certain notes, add in notes, take out notes, to certain section. They would still have the issue, which is they don't have the plugin. So the wave file, them can't do too much to it. This is where a plugin like DirectWave come in. Because with this plugin now, what I can do is sample this sound from Expand right here to DirectWave. And we're going to show you how to do that right now. So you're going to right-click on the sample, which is the Expand. Create DirectWave instrument. So now you're going to choose a location where you'd like this instrument to be saved. You can name it piano. So this section right here is very important. We want to control what are the octaves we sample. So we can choose from C3 because a piano you have bass notes in there. Like from C3 to probably C7. You can go up more if you choose based on the instrument, but for demonstrative purposes, we're going to sample from C3 to C7. Here is also important as well, because here's where you choose the velocity, sampling the velocity. Piano is a very velocity sensitive type, emotional type instrument. So when you want it to sound more natural, it play based on how hard you press it and that control the emotions and the feel like. So you want to sample touch sensitivity as well. So you can bring this anywhere from 25 to like 30. Right? And bear in mind, say, the more you turn up the velocity layers, the more the file size are going to take up and it will take longer for extract. So in the notes per zone section, this control how many notes are being sampled. As you can see, C, F sharp, C, we don't want it like that, we want it sample every note in the sample. So we can use it back and play every note. So we're going to leave this on 1. And now for the quality section, typically put mine at the highest quality, 512. Bit depth, we can go for 32 or 16. But for demonstrative purposes, we're going to leave it at 16. Down here, you want to turn off the master track effects and turn off the insert effects. As I said, that based on what you want as well. Keep on monolithic, opening DirectWave. So as soon as the sample done bounce out, it'll go open DirectWave. So I can start. And bear in mind, the time this might take based on how fast your computer is or how much RAM, CPU and them thing there. Alright, so now that the instrument done sample to DirectWave, it open my instance of DirectWave same time. So I could play and hear it. So I play a C note on the sampled instrument, and we're going to play a C note on the instrument that we sample from. You hear any difference? Because I don't hear no difference. So I'm going to put this on the same mixer track as the instrument, and then I copy this piano MIDI to this one. And we're going to compare on A-B. So these are the expand. Then we're going to play the one from DirectWave. Tell me if you hear no difference. Play expand again. So no noticeable difference to my ears. And with this method, you can send this session ready for zip loop it and send it to a person for collab with. And even though they don't have expand, if they use FL Studio, they have DirectWave because this is a stock plugin with FL Studio. So now they have the instrument, same sound, and they can also manipulate the MIDI file as well if they want to change notes or, add riddim style to it. And also, this method is very good because this plugin, DirectWave, it doesn't use, as I say, a lot of CPU or RAM. Right? So you get the same quality with like less pressure on your computer. Here are some key stuff to take in mind. Take in mind the velocity or the octaves where you want to sample from to. So the lower notes. If you have a bass instrument, right, for example, you wouldn't sample go right up to C7 unless it's a different type of bass where you have notes up another region there. So they'll leave it probably like C5 or, you don't have to sample as much from bass instrument. And like a bass instrument, you have to you can leave the velocity on 1. You only want to move up the velocity when you deal with like touch sensitive type instrument, like probably guitar or piano, where you can manipulate the velocity if you trigger certain emotion or make it sound more natural. But if you are dealing with bass instrument or like a synth instrument, you just leave this on 1. And always keep the notes per zone on 1. So that is sample all of the notes in the from the VST. So you can play them on any key, any note, any whatever. Alright, so keep the notes per zone per 1. Quality, this have to do with what you personally want. Same with bit depth. Me normally use 16 or 24. 24 in the years at the moment. You can use 32 or 16. And the quality of the sample. And you can enable master effects if you want. Enable insert effects that are the effects on the mixer track of the piano itself. Always keep monolithic file on. Open DirectWave so you can use it. And save it in a location where you can remember. And you can just drag and drop it. When I'm ready to use it again, I can just drag and drop it. Same instrument. Alright? So that's it. For this tutorial, how to sample any instrument with this plugin right here, DirectWave. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment. Any suggestions for other videos you want to see? Give thanks.